Hi, this is Free Thinking Through the Fourth Turning. My name is Sasha Stone. The following is audio of a video montage I posted on my site, sashastone.com. You can listen to it, but if you want to see who the people are, you can go to my site and watch the video. It is AOC who is uneducated and ignorant about Charlie Kirk. She knew nothing about him, but decided to condemn him in Congress anyway. If Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez plans to run for president in 2028, she just made the biggest mistake of her political career. That speech of hers will be written in ink, and it will haunt her for years to come. Why? Because she didn't know the first thing about Charlie Kirk, and everyone who watched her give that speech knows she's either ignorant or lying. We know on the left they do not believe in any kind of presumption of innocence when it comes to words. Words are harm, words are violence. Most of all, words define who you are. They found some words Charlie Kirk may have said one time, but they stripped them of context and refused to confront the whole human being. But that's what they do, right? That's why so many of us have fled. AOC's attempt at a posthumous cancellation of Kirk made her look ridiculous. I don't know if she realizes it yet, but she will one day. George Floyd's death was the very thing the left feared showing up in real life. We know what came after. But with Charlie Kirk's assassination by a guy who didn't like his words, it was on an entirely different level. George Floyd, like Melissa Hortman, served as a symbol of the left's view of the country full of bad people, racists and misogynists. Who they really were didn't matter. Charlie Kirk was everywhere. We saw him speaking to us on YouTube, on TikTok, on X, on podcasts. He was on Bill Maher. He was on South Park. He was leading a massive movement of young people who were excited about changing the world. The algorithms didn't know he died. Our brains and our hearts somehow had to process someone who was so close and yet no longer with us. I'm writing a longer piece about the Democratic Party and its failure to meet the moment. But in honor of the memorial for Charlie Kirk on Sunday, I thought I would put together a video montage of clips and various voices to give Miss Ocasio-Cortez a better idea of who Charlie Kirk really was. The truth is that they're all bitter and jealous of what he was doing. No Democrat ever would or could. They don't debate. They shut you down. They shut you out. They shut you up. I've never talked to a Democrat who wanted to listen. They start to glitch out if you try. They'll hang up, or they'll start hurling insults, or they'll walk away. The idea that any of them could do what Charlie did time and time again, offering up respectful but spirited debate, is laughable. He was the voice for so many who could not articulate arguments as well as he could, and who had the courage to touch untouchable topics. There's not a single Democrat who can do that. They only know how to tell you what to think. The legacy media and the left will attempt to write Charlie's story, and they'll write it badly. They'll scare people by warning of rising Christian nationalism. They'll cherry-pick things he said, because why wouldn't they? That's why it's important for those who know him to counter that argument anytime they can. Let this be the beginning of making sure they don't lie about him out of a lack of education or ignorance. I hope you enjoy the video.
We should be clear about who Charlie Kirk was. A man who believed that the Civil Rights Act that granted Black Americans the right to vote was a mistake. Who, after the violent attack on Paul Pelosi, claimed that, quote, some amazing patriot, unquote, should bail out his brutal assailant, and accused Jews of controlling, quote, not just the colleges, it's the nonprofits, it's the movies, it's Hollywood, it's all of it, unquote. His rhetoric and beliefs were ignorant, uneducated, and sought to disenfranchise millions of Americans.
So last time I checked, and I want to say it was 8th grade U.S. history, it was the 15th Amendment that gave black men the right to vote. Civil Rights Act, that was about ending discrimination. We're in a different area over here. And then you had the Voting Rights Act, because they were pulling the crap with the Jim Crow laws and the literacy test. I'm concerned that you got voted into the U.S. House of Representatives. I'm concerned that you have been re-voted into the U.S. House of Representatives multiple times.
One thing that white people and black people have different biologically.
Don't change the question of this, like DNA-wise, we are different.
No, we're not. That's a lie. It has been disproven. Front page of National Geographic 6 months ago. Racism created by society. If you look at DNA independently in a science laboratory, they cannot distinguish between a black person or a white person if they look at just the DNA, because the only difference is the melanin. It has been disproven. Race is a social construct that I want to break out of.
On everything, why is there so much anti-Semitism?
Because anti-Semitism is a construct created by the New World Order agenda that is being pushed onto us.
You know, if there's anti-Semitism, it's the Jews. If there's no anti-Semitism, it's the Jews. We send money to Hamas, it's the Jews. We send money to Israel, it's the Jews. So at some point you have to tell me, like, they basically control everything, whether it hurts them or it helps them. Is that correct?
Mr. Kirk, thanks for coming out tonight. I got a question for you real quick. Up until about 5 years ago, when gay marriage was legalized nationwide, the conservative movement has been explicitly pro-traditional family. Now, both you and your organization advocate for the acceptance of anti-Christian, immoral lifestyles like homosexuality and transsexuality, going as far to invite drag queens like Lady MAGA to your events. It seems to me and anyone who's paying attention that conservatives just believe whatever liberals believed 5 years ago. Right now, there's a push by the left to normalize pedophilia by way of child drag queen shows and... Oh, excuse me. Phone shut off.
Go back to your notes. That's probably where you saved it. You know, you gotta like push double tap and then go over.
Right now, there is a push by the left to normalize pedophilia by way of child drag queen shows and rebranding pedophiles as minor attracted persons. 5 years from now, will you be promoting child drag queen shows? Will child abuse become part of the conservative platform?
Boy, that's a slippery slope fallacy if I've ever seen one. First of all, I've never invited a drag queen to come to any Turning Point USA event. I was at Politicon, and an individual by the name of Lady MAGA came up, and I took a picture, and she walked away. Secondly, let me ask you a question. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir.
So are you a proud Trump supporter?
Of course.
So are you sickened that he had a gay man speak at his convention?
Yes.
Then you're not a Trump supporter, my friend. Thank you very much. Let me ask you another question. Should he return the money of Peter Thiel, an openly gay man who supports his campaign?
No, if it helps him strategically,
okay.
Sure, he can.
Should he stop talking to Tammy Bruce, who's an open lesbian that's a Fox News contributor?
If it's affecting his ideas, then probably, yeah.
Okay, so you say you're a Trump supporter, yet you have all these issues and these disagreements with him. Let me be very clear about my position. My personal position. I'm a Christian first and foremost, then an American, then a constitutionalist, then a conservative, in that order. I believe marriage, biblically, if we want to have a biblical and theological discussion as articulated in the greatest book ever to exist in the history of the world, the Holy Bible. Marriage in the Holy Bible is one man, one woman. I also do not believe in the sort of rhetoric that some people engage in, that all of a sudden that they say there's no place for gay people in the conservative movement. I do not believe that. And let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question then?
Sure, go for it.
So, the American family, liberty, freedom, the Constitution, our history, veterans, that's what we're conserving. I'll get to you later though, don't worry. So let me ask you a question. What if you had your way, what would you do with gay people in America?
What would I do with them?
Yeah, because they're not allowed in the conservative movement, so would you just kick them out anytime they show up at a Republican Party? If you were in charge, like what would you say? You can't be part of the Republican Party.
If somebody is advocating for being openly homosexual, yeah, they should not be part of the conservative movement.
So I just want to go through the list. Guy Benson, no place in the conservative movement. Dave Rubin, no place in the conservative movement. Peter Thiel, no place in the conservative movement. So that, just to go down the list.
If they are supporting open homosexuality.
So I'm going to ask a very respectful question, as respectfully as I can. What does what they do in their private life concern you so much that you have to go up in front of a crowd? And
it is against God. That is
so. Let me ask
Are you
a
a
question.
Christian or not?
Do we live in a theocracy? Yes or no? No. Do we live in a theocracy?
You said you're a Christian.
I am a Christian. And do you know what? And guess what? I will say this. Part of being a Christian is appropriately interpreting what the theological says for the individual, but also means to be long-suffering and patient and loving and kind. Jesus Christ talked to all people. Jesus Christ went and did his ministry through Judea and Samaria, and he had dinner with tax collectors, and he had dinner with prostitutes, and he did his ministry in every part of the Mediterranean. What it means to be a Christian, my friend, is to be open-minded but firm in your beliefs, so you can have that belief. But if you say there's something inherently wrong with communicating or associating just because they make different personal decisions than you, sir, are not a conservative. Thanks for being here tonight.
Students at Utah Valley University gathered to pay tribute to Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated on their campus just 9 days ago. The vigil comes ahead of Sunday's funeral for Kirk. Tens of thousands are expected to attend, including President Trump. His murder and some unexpected outreach that Kirk made the day before his death had resonated with our CNN colleague Van Jones. The story begins when a Ukrainian woman was fatally stabbed last month in North Carolina. The suspect is a black man, and Charlie Kirk and Van got into a public sparring match online. Kirk claimed the murder happened because she was white. Van denounced that as completely unfounded. Kirk then sent out what Van calls a fire hose of tweets challenging his argument, which Van says sparked death threats against him. In the midst of all of this, Kirk reached out to Van in a direct message on X. "Hey Van, I mean it. I'd love to have you on my show to have a respectful conversation about crime and race. I would be a gentleman, as I know you would be as well. We can disagree about the issues agreeably." Now, that message was sent on September 9th. Van says he did not see it until the very next day after Kirk was murdered. Van Jones just wrote a piece about this for CNN.com and is here tonight. I mean, this is extraordinary. So this was received the day before he was killed.
Yeah. Look, I mean, we were beefing. I don't know. We were going at it online, on air. And then after he died, after he was murdered, my team called and said, "Van, he was trying to reach you, man." What? And what was he doing? Dialogue. Let's be gentlemen together. He says, let's disagree agreeably. So I'm sitting on this and I'm watching the whole country talk about civil war, censorship, justifying murder about this guy. This guy is reaching out to his mortal enemy saying we need to be gentlemen, sit down together and disagree agreeably. And the next day he's killed. And I've sat on it long enough, and I just said, you know what? We're going to Memorial Weekend for this man. We disagree. Everybody knows we were not friends, okay, at all. But you praise the good when it's time to memorialize somebody. And what he did, and I didn't even know it, was good. He was not for censorship. He was not for civil war. He was not for violence. He was for dialogue, open debate and dialogue, even with me.
To all the Gen Zers watching this convention on TikTok right now, I have a message just for you. You don't have to stay poor. You don't have to accept being worse off than your parents. You don't have to feel aimless and unhappy. You don't have to support leaders who lied to you and took advantage of you for your vote. America's future is a series of choices. Our current state of slow motion national decline is a choice.
At 18 years old, you didn't go to college. How did you decide, number one, not going to college, number two, going to do student activism, and number three, going to start one of the largest student organizations in the country?
Well, thank you, Ben. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate it very much. Started it, I had no money, no connections, no idea what I was doing. Always had a passion for politics and for saving the country. And I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. I originally wanted to go to West Point, didn't get in, ended up being the best thing that never happened to me. I convinced my parents to allow me to take a gap year before entering college, and one gap year has now turned into 8 gap years. And the great irony of the whole thing is I run an organization that's focused on college campus outreach, that actually go into college myself. But it's now, on 2,000 high school and college campuses. You spoke at our last event, which was down in Palm Beach at the end of last year. And look, you know this, you visit a lot of campuses across the country. There's a crisis happening right now in higher education where students are being taught to hate our country, where anti-Americanism is on the rise. And I think conservative values and conservative ideas are being given an opportunity to really have a revival and a renaissance. And, we see that at Turning Point USA. We see that the work that we're doing and the speeches that I give and the visits that, I partake in. And it's been a great journey over the last 8 years. And it's been fun seeing, of course, you, when I first met you, you were, working and writing and doing radio. And then, of course, that was before the Daily Wire, and seeing that kind of take off. So it's been fun kind of, throughout the last couple of years, kind of seeing both entities grow.
Words of wisdom for everyone today.
Grammar matters more than people realize.
Words of wisdom for today.
Learn how to say words backwards.
I don't know if they were the
Words of wisdom for today.
Power shows the man. You want to find out a lot about somebody, give them a bunch of power. Power shows the man.
I'm not going to be able to focus sitting this close to him.
Hi. Ready?
Hello. I'm not going to be able to focus looking right at you. I'm just going to be staring at you.
Hello.
Oh. Wow.
Ready, Terrell?
Hold on.
We're rolling?
We're not.
All right, you'll be switching. All right, I'll count it down.
Wait. I'm kind of nervous, you guys.
She's nervous, which is why we must get going. All right, we ready?
No.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of The Charlie Kirk Show.
You're going to have to do it again.
Introduce yourself.
Is that what you're going to say?
I'm engaged. Joining me is the most special guest, my fiance.
Charlie Kirk, we're praying for you. We know that you're in heaven right now.
Very important. Sir Isaac Newton fell asleep underneath a tree. And then an apple hit him. Kind of like this. So then he came up with the 3 laws. Okay, see, that's the issue, is you keep on thinking when you drop it, it comes back up, but it doesn't, okay? The 3 laws of Newtonian physics. You're going to be quizzed on this later, An object at rest will stay at rest. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For example, if I push it, it goes towards. And finally, force equals mass times acceleration. Any questions? Right, Chi-Chi? Ah! Maga Musi wins. Ultra Maga Musi.
Do you like that tree?
Yes, it's the best in the meeting. To know the road ahead, Asto's coming back.
Why are we getting that one?
Because he's just the perfect width. Not too fat, not too skinny.
Baboon or baboon?
Baboon. I like your hat.
Are you the tree expert?
I'm the tree expert. After many decades of living in the Midwest, I know. Thank you guys for a respectful conversation, even though we see things very differently. And if you're engaged in the creation of that content, I think God has a better plan for you. I know that might sound preachy and not what you want to hear, but maybe you'll have an encounter with God, and Jesus loves all of you, and He can transform your life. He transformed my life, and every day is a new day, and it's a hopeful, beautiful life ahead of you. And God loves every single one of us. We're all sinners, and Jesus died.
I mean, you've definitely been the most respectful one that I've seen.
Well, thank you. That's very kind, and I can tell you it's not me. If it was me, I'd be yelling and screaming. It's the Holy Spirit. It really is. I know it might sound silly, it might sound cliche, but Jesus has gone to work on my life. And so, God bless you guys. Thank you for a great discussion.
Charlie, 400 black people are in the East Room being treated like royalty, and he has nothing but that to say. Are you kidding me? 400 are treated like Medal of Honor recipients. Because y'all are, by the way. You are heroes for what you're doing, because you see the backlash. Exactly. You read the comment section of the CNN live feed, what they're saying about you. How much do they get paid? That's what they're saying.
Where did they find these people? I didn't know that Craigslist existed for paid actors for Trump rallies. But guess what? There's nothing more real than you. Yeah. Because it's so hard for you.
I said, okay, I'm going to go on a leap of faith. And if you know me, I got my phone everywhere, right? And now I am very proud of, I'm very thankful, not proud of myself, I'm very thankful to God. I deleted all my social media apps from my phone a year and a half ago. I highly encourage it, by the way. It's very liberating. But I know for young people, this is extremely relevant because you live off of these devices as if they're some sort of kind of part of your existence. And ever since I was able to turn off the phone and just take a legitimate Sabbath, all of a sudden, those other 6 days are centered around that one day. How are you?
I'm good. How about you? So you're notoriously anti-Civil Rights Act.
Well, again, I explained that earlier. There's parts of it that were good.
Okay. I want to know what your idea for, like, not only black liberation, but, like, liberation for any type of minority that was protected through the Civil Rights Act, like, what your idea for that would be if it wasn't there.
Yeah, again, I said it earlier that the part of the Civil Rights Act that disallowed businesses from administering services based on race, that was a good part. The other parts that created this this ridiculously overreaching anti-racist bureaucracy was ridiculous, and now it's being...
Like what parts?
Well, for example, the parts that give us the enforcement on the Voting Rights Act, which says that So I'll give you an example. Merrick Garland recently said that states cannot have voter ID because it's a violation of the Civil Rights Act. So that's insane because the Civil Rights Act went as far to say not just disparate encounter, but disparate impact.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So
I get that.
So the impact goes too far for me.
So I wanted to talk about how you're a big advocate for having a choice as Americans to get the vaccine, which I completely agree with. Yeah. But also at the same time, you also advocate like for women not to have the freedom to choose what they do with their bodies, as well as the LGBTQ people, like they shouldn't have like freedom to do what they want or like what they're fighting for, like for equal rights.
Okay, so if it's not your DNA, it's not your choice. Do you agree with that?
I would partially agree. I mean, I do agree, but
so you have sovereignty over your DNA?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so when there's another DNA inside of you, do you have sovereignty over that DNA?
It is a part of the woman that...
Well, it's also part of the man, so it's new DNA, though.
But it's attached to the woman, that's what I'm saying.
It's attached, but it's not her.
Yeah, absolutely, but, like, if you think about it, like, theoretically, it's like a parasite. It's attached to your body.
A baby's a parasite?
It's a fetus. It's a lump of cells in the woman's...
We're all lumps of cells.
Yeah, absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So, but what you're trying to do is you're using dehumanizing language. Clump of cells.
That's not what I'm trying to do.
But you are. No, it's okay. Just this is typical abortion language, which is try to make the baby seem that it's not a baby because the word baby gets people animated. Because if we called it a baby, all of a sudden we wouldn't abort it. But it is a baby. By every characteristic, it's a baby. So I guess the question in front of us is, with the vaccine question, you have sovereignty over your DNA.
Yeah, absolutely.
As soon as there's new DNA that is not your own deoxyribonucleic acid, you do not have sovereignty over that DNA. It is a temporary visitor in your own DNA, but it's not your DNA. It's its own human being.
Okay.
Like, I don't have sovereignty over you.
Absolutely,
you don't have sovereignty over me.
Yeah.
And your mom right now is not allowed to come back to campus and kill you.
Yeah, that's not the point, though.
No, but think about it, because you guys are different. So we wouldn't.
Choice of an.
But your mom doesn't remain in control of you for the rest of your life.
No, yeah, absolutely not.
Because you're separate DNA, and it just so happens that it's temporarily housed within, not that it is you.
Okay.
So no one's contesting that women do not have autonomy over their own being. The point is, what about the being that also has autonomy that you are forsaking in the woman? Because that baby has rights too.
Well, you can't like ask the fetus the question, right? It should come down to the woman that's carrying the child. I can't
ask my
right?
6-month-old a question.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
So just being able to reason with a being does not mean that the being doesn't have rights.
I don't like your T-shirt. I'm an immigrant. I don't understand why you would want to deport some of my friends and family who have been working hard in this country.
What's your name, sorry?
I'm Claudio, sir.
Yeah, Claudio. And this is just a thought exercise, but it's very revealing. You are king. And you find out that there are 30 million uninvited people in your country. What do you do with them?
I try to find the most humane way of sending them back to our country. But First of all, I want to say
that's what we're doing.
Wait,
that's what we're doing. So what country did you emigrate from?
Are you gonna like discriminate against me?
No, I'm gonna do the opposite actually.
I'm Mexican.
But you came here legally, correct?
I did.
You followed the rules. The people that you know didn't follow the rules.
True.
So I divide America not into Hispanic and white, into rule follower and rule breaker.
So what faith do you practice then? Because you say Christianity. Do you have a specific sect?
It's like evangelical. Basically,
this is over then.
You're part of the problem, I think, with the hatred on trans people. It's really not that deep. Like, if someone wants to dress up however they want, that's totally fine.
Okay, so
and I think that's where the hatred
I'm
comes
not preventing you from dressing up like
yeah.
this. However, let me ask you a question. I will flush this out.
Ahead.
So let's pretend you say you are a woman.
Let's pretend.
I know you are a man, but I refuse to call you a woman.
Okay.
Who's the hateful one?
I would say you are. I mean, I wouldn't.
So you're
going to force
me and shame me?
No,
hold on a second. Anything, man. I'm the hateful one.
It's really just like common courtesy.
It is never common courtesy to lie. Oh, it says Charlie is a Nazi. Wow.
So I know you're obviously very anti-trans.
No, I'm pro-reality.
Okay, if you were pro-reality, let me tell you a story that explains this sign a little bit.
Let me guess, all the Nazis were against trans people too, and therefore that makes me a Nazi.
Yeah, you mean the
Wait, hold on.
You mean all of the Nazis that was the first book burning.
Wait, hold on.
The first people, just like Donald Trump, the first people that Nazis went after were trans people and immigrants, and you fail to see the parallels with that.
Do you have a dog?
I do have a dog.
So did Hitler. Are you a Nazi? Oh my goodness. You have a dog and so did Hitler. I can't believe it. Hitler had a dog. You have a dog. You're a Nazi.
Oh my God. Do you have short hair and f***ed up teeth? You must be a Nazi.
Well, let's elevate our discussion above personal insults. Let's try to... You see... The left can't debate, so they just call names. The left can't have a dialogue, so they just call names.
So I'm particularly concerned about your brand of Christianity. As a Christian myself, Christian nationalism I do not agree with at all. I think it's antithetical to the values of the early church. And I think, how do you reconcile especially white Christians in this America, marrying politics and power with their faith in this country?
Well, there's a lot there. I've never described myself as a Christian nationalist. So I'm a Christian and a nationalist, so I've never used those two.
And then right there, that and nationalist, where in the scriptures does a Christian...
Well, thank you. Jeremiah 29:7, demand the welfare of the nation that you are in, because your welfare is tied to your nation's welfare. Let me continue. Daniel fasted and prayed for his nation. Esther and Mordecai cared for their nation. They were counsel to the king.
Right.
Nehemiah, Jeremiah, Joseph, Jacob. I could keep on going. Moses, Aaron. In fact, Moses was so political that he wrote an entire book of the Torah all about how to set up a government. It's the book of Deuteronomy. So, in fact, the Bible is an explicitly political text amongst many other things.
There's a point in which Trump won Pennsylvania that you got emotional, and you actually shed a tear or two. I wonder at what point in that emotional response goes from felicity and joy of shedding a tear of this liberator to actually sorrow of seeing that this is going to get to the point where it could lead to oppression. And that's where my question was.
Do you know why I cried on election night?
Because you thought it was a restoration of the Judeo-Christian values that are inherent to the Constitution.
Let me tell you why, because I think you might appreciate this as a historian. Joe Biden sent the entire federal government after Turning Point USA and me personally. They wanted me in federal prison.
Right.
And by the way, that's what despots do, not
Sure.
Donald Trump. Let me finish. And so when Donald Trump won, it was a sigh of relief that maybe I won't have to go to federal prison. Maybe I can actually be around my kids. And maybe we can live in a free society.
Would you agree/disagree that the Make America movement, Make America Great movement, again, MAGA movement, is a cult?
No.
Do you know any characteristics of a cult?
Sure. I mean, you could take the Jonestown death cult, of which there was a charismatic leader that constantly lied people, and they took them out of everyday normal life and leads them towards ostracization and cutting off of family ties. Am I getting closer to describing the Democrat Party?
According to the... No. What I'm talking about is MAGA.
Why would you have a watch list of just only left-leaning professors and not conservative-leaning professors
The mission
as well?
is to expose left-wing professors.
Okay, well, wouldn't you want to expose the conservative-leaning values and have a more moderate landscape in terms of how we discuss politics as a whole?
Well, hold on. I mean, yes, of course, this is what we're embodying, but what percentage of professors at this school would you say voted for Trump?
I don't know.
How many would you guys say? 5%? 10%? Okay. So studies show that based on political donations, about 97% of U.S. college professors donated to Kamala. But if 97% of an organization, which is American college, all goes to the left, that's a massive imbalance, right? That's not moderate. That's insanely slanted.
Yeah, but that's not happening, though. Education as a...
Let me ask, how many of you guys feel as if you would be punished or treated differently if you say you support Trump or conservative values in your class? Look around. Look around. Every single person. So it is happening. Well, first, why does it make you feel so bad that they're here?
Because I know that we grew up a different way.
You grew up a different way?
Yes.
What way do you think I espouse?
Very conservative, very...
Does that make me like
right-wing.
a bad person? Like,
when you go against my rights and my beliefs, yes. I
Okay.
think so. But
I'm a
to
bad person.
my question.
okay.
Yeah.
About gun violence? What in
Yes.
particular?
Like the shootings that are going on in America, that
Yeah.
thousands of kids are dying.
Well, thousands of kids aren't dying every year, but a lot of kids are dying. You're right.
It's actually 30,000 kids die a year due to gun
No,
violence.
30,000 kids do not die. 30,000 total people die due to gun violence, 2/3 of which are suicide, and the majority are urban violence. You guys can fact check me on this at any time, by the way. 30,000 kids do not die of gun violence a year. So in order to be consistent, because you care about gun violence,
Yes, I do.
should we take all the pistols away so that no gang violence can happen in Kansas City, Chicago, Houston, etc.?
Yeah.
So all pistols should be taken. Why?
Because children are dying.
Got it. So 30,000 people.
Children are dying.
Got it. 30,000 people die of gun violence a year, right? 30,000. 55,000 people die from auto fatalities every year. Should we get rid of cars?
Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, it is. No, you said 30,000. That's a lot of people, but a lot more people die because of cars, so we should get rid of them, right?
I don't think so. That's different.
No, it's not different. It's more people. We care about people, right? So we should try to make America safer, get rid of liberty, so cars got to go. Yeah?
So,
Well, but I thought we'll save lives. We'll save 55,000 lives a year. You call me a white supremacist. What evidence do you have that I'm a racist?
I was just literally watching a video of you talking about whiteness as a whole, talking about whiteness as a concept, okay? And you were trying to explain how white privilege doesn't exist.
Correct, it doesn't.
You are a white man. How do you know?
What can a white person do that a black person can't do?
Black applicants to jobs are 50% less likely to get jobs if they have a black-sounding name.
That's not even close to being true. That's not even close to being true.
That is a literal...
in fact, it's the opposite.
I'm not going to argue your lived experience. I'm not going to... No.
See, now you have to listen to him under your rules because a black person is going to say you're wrong.
I am. He can say I'm wrong. I know.
Come on up to the mic.
I know. I read your.
My name's Keemon Dixon. I have a really black name. Please tell me how 50% of my internships have been denied when I've worked for Senator Mike Lee, Mayor Trent Sachs, Speaker Mike Schultz.
Hold on.
I worked for a Congressman, Burgess Owens. I've actually worked on his campaign. I've worked on the campaigns of John Huntsman Jr. Please tell me how my black experience and my black name has not given me. Go ahead.
So, how are you able to so confidently just kind of word vomit? Really, all of your work is not a debate. It's just confirmation bias.
You want to debate?
No, I'm good. I'm just curious where you learned.
Okay. You sure?
Where you learned how to public
I'm a high
speak.
school graduate. You're in college, man. Let's debate. I vomit for a living, you said.
No, I'm not here to debate. That's not,
No, you're
that's
just
not my
You're
question.
just here to insult me.
Yeah, I am. You're really good at lying out of your.
What have I lied about? Name one thing I lied tonight about. Name
stats.
Give some examples. Where did I lie or say a stat that's not true?
You need to work on not doing confirmation bias.
You came up here and insulted me. I'm asking you, how have I misled this audience? And you come unprepared, like not with a single data. I thought you'd at least have like one gotcha, man.
You're good at what you do, but not for the right reasons. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you should ask for money back at KU. They're really scamming you, man. You'd think you'd have one little thing. The question is, will Christian men commit to what really matters, to the divine, to the beautiful, to the good, with courage and with purpose? The next time that you are confronted with saying the hard thing and the honest thing, and you know it comes at a price to your flesh or yourself, you say the true thing. The next time you see somebody
who is suffering or is being treated unjustly, and you can intervene, you do something about it. You stand up to the bully, you put your own neck on there, and you choose what is right over what is comfortable. The most masculine people that I know are the ones that go into places where they are not welcome, they were not invited, that they will be booed off stage, and they still proclaim the truth. That's what it means to be a man. They know that if men and Christian men start to recommit to the truths and the promises of the Bible, that this country can and will be saved.
And you asked the question, what did it teach me about risk? Is that
risk
right?
in life, yeah.
Well, honestly, I had nothing to really risk because I had nothing to lose. And so that's like...
Well, that's a nerve-wracking thing. A lot of people are presented with opportunities to talk with someone, get their foot in the door for some opportunity.
Sure, so what are you losing, though? Like, your own... like
getting over the embarrassment of rejection.
I know, but like, that's not losing anything, right? I mean, that's... In life, if you think about it, like, okay, if you're second mortgaging your house, like some entrepreneurs are, I don't have like one of those stories, right? I'm sure you guys talk to some of these people. I was on the second mortgage of my house and I couldn't feed my kids. That's actually not my story. That is something to lose. This is like the only thing you have to lose is your own sense of comfort. That's kind of weird when you think about it, right? I mean, I'm not going to ask that girl out. Why? Well, because I'm comfortable in my own corner. Comfort will not bring you success, actually. It won't bring you excellence. Like, only in that place of uncomfort and discomfort do you actually get to the next level.
So how do you handle negativity and suffering? Do you complain, or do you look at it as a potential blessing in your life? You are 100% in control of the attitude that you bring to things that are out of your control. Secular society and modern society says that you are a victim of your circumstances. You get to choose how you handle your circumstances. And so, for example, okay, our table gets torn down. They break into your dorm room. You have two choices. I'm a victim, feel sorry for me. I want special rights and privileges. Number two, wow, this is making me tougher. I'm gonna grow closer to the people I care about. Boom, mindset shift. You have a choice to do that. And our society now is non-stop about you are just a creation of the stuff. No, you are a creation of who you choose to be. You are a creation of the mindset you bring to the game. My position is that even hate speech should be completely and totally allowed in our country. I think that in a civil society, the best ideas will win as long as you have that marketplace. And here's the real issue. As soon as you shut up hate speech, those people only get more powerful. And this is the unintended consequence of censorship. You give more credence to the silenced person the moment you shut them up, because then they can play the victim and they say, they're trying to shut me up because I have something that everyone else wants and I'm a threat to them. No, you're not. You're just a fool. And those people have too much power. And so the minute that you start to enforce speech laws like they do in Europe based on specific political opinions, then you actually give credence to them. Let me be very clear. Bring your bad ideas publicly so decent people can cross-examine you, so we can see who you are, we can talk to you and convince the public otherwise. This is a hard argument for some young people to hear because they're like, it's so hateful, it's so awful, it deteriorates our country. No. Those ideas, if they spread, deteriorate our country. But good people will speak in opposition to them.
My question for you is, if you were stranded on a deserted island with any political opponent of your choice, who would you choose and why?
Definitely not Gavin Newsom. That wouldn't happen. I'd have to think about that. Let's play this out. If you're stranded on a deserted island, you can reason that you want that person to be very productive, not a complainer, and have done something in their life. So that's like no Democrats at all. So, and they're also like, most of them are super old, so they'd probably like die while we're on the island. That'd be like super awk. How long am I on this desert? I'm infinitely stranded with no hope of reconciliation? Forever. My goodness. I would probably pick like the most resourceful Democrat that I could find. If you wanted to survive on a desert island, there'd be like 1 million Republicans to pick. Like I'd pick like Joe Rogan, like people that could actually, hunt and gather, right? But if it's about survival, I don't know, the Democrats would try to unionize the island with just 2 of us. They would constantly steal my stuff and then call me a racist. Like it'd be terrible. Okay, everybody, the South Park episode just dropped, and honestly, it is hilarious. I mean, part of it is kind of like whatever, typical humor, but it was hilarious. Just watch this little snippet of our Prove Me Wrongs, our viral cultural domination on prime time on Comedy Central. So important, so impactful that South Park is highlighting. Watch it.
I'm sick of people stealing my stick. If anyone around here is going to be a master debater, it's me. So let's go. Who wants to debate the master debater? Let's go. You right there.
That's the stupidest haircut I've ever seen.
You are wrong. Leviticus 3:17 says it shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings. So you can shut up, baby. You just hate America and you love abortions.
Not only that, but Jeremiah 1:5, I made you in the womb. South Park gets this right. In fact, I think they've been watching a lot of Charlie Kirk videos. Now, there's going to be a lot said about this, but we need to have a good spirit about being made fun of. This is all a success. This is all a win. We as conservatives, we have thick skin, not thin skin. And you can make fun of us. It doesn't matter. And until next time, I hope all of you also become master debaters for truth.
Being unkind. I'm trying not to swear. It says right here on the top of my packet. Reminder, no swearing, because I'm on Charlie's show now. He was so wholesome. But in any event, being such a jerk for so many years, losing his show, no one cares. Most normal people don't care. Walter Kern, do you care? He's my guest now and joins me via satellite. Walter, your thoughts on Jimmy Kimmel and the leftist meltdown?
Well, let me say something first. 2 months ago, Charlie asked me to be on this show. I had never been on it before. And I said no, I was too busy. I would get to him this fall. Well, he's not here. And now I'm on his show with him not on Earth, which is a lesson to us all. Don't put things off. Don't take things for granted, and how quickly and terribly things can change. So I'm sorry, Mr. Kirk.
Oh, Walter.
I'm sorry that I delayed too long. Anyway, what do I think of Jimmy Kimmel? Well, I do a little showbiz. I write screenplays. I've had movies made of my books. I've written on TV shows. Jimmy, that's showbiz. You weren't funny. You weren't any good. You wished death on half of your audience in not so subtle ways. Hey, Wheezy, rest in peace. You made a false claim that this case had been cracked and the culprit was MAGA. In other words, half the U.S. public. Now you're gone, and you're gone legally, and I think legitimately, because ABC leases the public airwaves in order to make money. And that lease comes with conditions, and that is that it serves the public good, basically.
That's right.
And it wasn't serving the public good. It was acting on behalf of a regime. It was acting on behalf of its pharmaceutical advertisers that keep it supported. It was slanting not just the news, but every joke. It's not cable. Greg Gutfeld is not comparable. He's on cable news. Those are private wires that are laid in the ground. This is the public airwaves, a stage that we give people on the condition that they use it with decency and some sense of fairness and fair play, and in the interest of all of us who own it. We own that station. We merely lease it to
That's
ABC.
right. And do you think he was scared at all? Do you, like, that morning, did he have any sort of a premonition?
No, Megan. He was. we got out of the car after we prayed, and so many people out there. There were all these kids from TPUSA lined up, and you take pictures with them. And then we're about to walk in. It was kind of an amphitheater, and you were walking in from the front of it, like right toward the crowd, and he's just going, "Welcome to the big leagues." It was like a Trump rally.
Yeah.
I mean, people were chanting USA, USA, and Charlie starts flipping hats, and I'm just standing there, with my phone going, this is amazing. And then somebody hands me hats. So I give my phone to Danny there, the guy that you had on the podcast yesterday, and he starts filming. And so I'm flipping hats,
Right. You're in on the action.
Yeah, it was just such a festive atmosphere.
We actually have a little tape of it, Frank. Let me show it in Stop 50.
Wow, look at that.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Just give him a little taste.
This is inside Charlie's car. Now he's out of it throwing hats. Wow, huge crowd. really incredible, Frank, because I remember Charlie doing these events, and you get like a handful of people who would show up and see him. And it had grown, as Andrew's been saying, into tent revivals.
It has. He was kind of a cross between Billy Graham and Rush Limbaugh.
Yes. Yes, that's perfect. Exactly right.
It was like people who, even if they weren't Christians, loved him. And even if people weren't conservatives, but they were Christians, loved him. Everybody on the secular and Christian right loved him.
Yep. And in the middle, I think, too.
Okay, everybody, we are here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I have no idea if anybody showed up to this event. We'll find out if social media is real life. Let's go find out together. Here we go.
My name's Gavin Biggs, from Strongsville, Ohio, and I just want to say that Charlie Kirk is the main reason for me finding my faith again. After 10 years of me not reading any scripture, not stepping foot in church, not even making a prayer, the day that he was taken from us, I opened the Bible. I asked God, please take me instead. Because we needed Charlie. We needed him. And I don't know who's going to take his place. God bless. God bless America. Please give us our country back.
I'm gonna just be honest. What happened to Charlie Kirk? It didn't just affect the United States. Nah. I look on my For You page and I say, from North Korea to China to England, the whole world knows this guy's name. And when you see stuff like that, I think of the Bible. How Jesus moved the people. When I say Charlie Kirk affected, when I say affected, you could say the whole world knowed it. It draw people into Christianity even more of his death. This guy here was a special guy, and you motherfuckers took him.
Hi, my name is Charlie Brown. I'm 13 years old, and I am a part of / founder of a mission called Where's Charlie? This mission was created after the assassination of Charlie Kirk because it made me think, what nation do we live in where people are killed for exercising their right to free speech? My mission is best described in this quote. You can kill the messenger, but not the message. I am trying to bring together hundreds, thousands, and eventually millions of people to be a Charlie. To get truth and decipher that truth through critical thinking, just like Charlie did. Charlie may be gone, but now I am Charlie. You are Charlie. We are Charlie. And this is an American comeback.
I am Charlie Kirk. I speak loud and proud. And I wish everybody that's on these TikToks that believes in Charlie Kirk, you are Charlie Kirk. Just like they silenced him, they're going to try to silence you as well. So I am Charlie Kirk.
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 I am Charlie Kirk. I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk, and we are just getting started.
You guys give me great hope. God bless.
Sad about Charlie Kirk. And if you are happy about it, you can just stop watching, because this will not be for you. There is a serious level of grieving that the Holy Spirit in me did when I heard the news. The first thing that I did was weep. The second thing was run into my prayer closet and pray and then weep. And I just want to share and encourage people that are also sad about this news that you aren't alone. There may be a lot of people that are happy, a lot of people rejoicing. I call them wicked. The thing about the walk of faith that we all have is the opposition of the hope that we have in Christ will always be death. Charlie was 31. I'm 31. And it's a sobering reminder that it is possible to be killed for what you believe. Whether people agree or disagree, there's always going to be opposition to somebody's viewpoints. But that opposition resulting in murder is a sobering reality that not many of us want to come into contact with. It just kept reminding me, am I willing to risk it all for what I believe in? And
the assassination of Charlie Kirk has been awful, but it has brought to light the things we've been talking about. And it's been very hard to watch people that we should respect, classroom teachers, for example, celebrating an assassination in the United States of America in the year 2025. People have been shocked. They can't believe that some of these people are teaching in their schools and in their classrooms. But in one sense, I'm glad it's finally coming to light. But these teachers need to be exposed, because you have an absolute right in America to be a horrible person. You have an absolute right to speak horrible things. You have an absolute right to say that you are celebrating the death of our friend. But that does not give you the right to access our children in a classroom for 8 hours a day. That does not mean that we have to use our tax dollars to pay your salary for you to be a horrible person in front of our children and try to teach them your horrible, hateful ways. And so at Moms for Liberty, we are continuing the fight.
I keep thinking I'm fine, and then I sit down and look at my phone, and I just... This is not going to do what they think it will do. This will make him bigger and stronger, and his message more powerful than anything he could have done while he was alive. Charlie is fine. Charlie is with God now. That I know for sure. He is 100% with God. He is fine. It's us that aren't fine. And it is our job to finish what Charlie so bravely and boldly gave his life for.
You will never be the best version of yourself if you allow other people to convince you that you can't be better because of your skin color, because of your sexual identity, because of the community you came from. You must resist those narratives at all costs if you truly want to be successful in America.
If you have also been grieving about Charlie Kirk like this, and you're confused because it's like, I don't even know him, why am I grieving so hard? I need you to know you're not alone. I got a question on Instagram because I have been posting about him constantly on my stories, and somebody asking, why are you talking about Charlie Kirk so much? Why didn't you talk about so-and-so this much? Why didn't you talk about this person so much? Why aren't you crying about this person? And there are a few answers to that. Number one is because we spent time with Charlie. He had an impact on us. He had such a huge impact on us through his words, through his prayers, through just the way he spoke, the activism that he did. He impacted our lives. He changed the world. He changed America, and he would have transformed America even more when he was going to be president, because it was going to happen.
Charlie Kirk, right-wing activist, Trump ally, has passed away at age 31. The reason why, I was a fan of Charlie Kirk and his college tours is because his love for Jesus Christ and how he will always talk about Jesus Christ, and he will bring the Bible onto the college campuses and everything. I'm a Christian myself. All I can say is I pray for his wife and his 2 young children.
You will never be the best version of yourself if you allow other people to convince you that you can't be better because of your skin color, because of your sexual identity, because of the community you came from. You must resist those narratives at all costs if you truly want to be successful.
I think that Charlie thought that it was worth it in the end. Was it worth fighting for truth given the price he had to pay for it? Because the truth is, I don't know what goes through a man's mind when he's in his final moments, when he's lying in a pool of his own blood and all he can hear is the chaos and the screaming and the shrieks of horror all around him, when he's confronted suddenly and violently with the reality that he will never see his wife and children again in this life. I don't know what kind of thoughts you think, if any. But if I had to guess, based on what I know about Charlie, did he think it was worth it? Yes. Yes, I really do. Charlie died because he stood for the truth. Let's make no mistake about that. He was killed because he spoke the truth. And the truth is worth any cost that we must pay for it. The truth is worth our lives. It's worth our blood. It's worth even the grief and tears of our loved ones. Because the truth is the only thing that's worth anything. And the truth always wins in the end. The truth always prevails. I mean, you can hide from it, you can lie about it, you can try to distract from it, you can attempt to confuse and change the subject, you can cajole and harass and threaten those who speak it, you can kill them. But you can't kill the truth. The truth will outlive all of us. It was here before us, it'll be here after us. When we're all dead and gone and our graves are forgotten and overgrown, the truth will still be the truth. And the truth is what Charlie dedicated his life to. So yes, the truth is worth dying for because it's worth living for. And Charlie never forgot that, and neither should we.
You were the voice of a generation till the devil cut the cord. You live your life for the nation and walking with the Lord. This world is lost and violence is cold. They left your family all alone. And though they took your life away, I know you're at those pearly gates, hearing well done, good and faithful servant. But nothing you had done made you deserve this. United we stand, divided we fall. God have mercy on us all. Oh Lord, we need you more than ever, for this country is so full of terror. And I'm disgusted by the ones applauding, and I'm heartbroken for the ones who care. No one should ever go that way, so I pray for God's love to prevail. Oh, I pray for God's love to prevail. Known for your controversy, you were a man in pursuit of the truth, and in the face of adversity, you spoke boldly of what you believed to be true. You may love him or you may hate him, but he had a heart for the life of everyone. Oh Lord, we need you more than ever, for this country is so full of terror. And I'm disgusted by the ones applauding, and I'm heartbroken for the ones who care. No one should ever go that way, so I pray for God's love to prevail. Oh, I pray